Yeah, ruined the vacation that my family was having, but it was devastating. This was, 15 years of my life. I thought I would retire from federal service 15 years from now. Like I thought I would be a lifer. I built myself up. I had risen through the ranks. I really loved the job.
Did you hear from colleagues? What did they say to you about it?
Yeah, I heard from a lot of colleagues. Um, a lot. It was just stunning. Like everyone was just shocked. And this is really the important point in all of this. It's pretty clear they fired me as a warning shot to the DOJ, to the civil division in particular. Here's Aras Rouhani. Here's a guy who defended everything in the first Trump administration. Here's a guy that nobody thinks is some kind of partisan actor.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to fire him. And if you guys want to follow in his footsteps and, not play ball, not, pick loyalty to the president's agenda over your duty of candor to the courts, we'll fire you too. We'll take away your livelihood. We'll put you in the possible position of choosing ethics or a salary.
The next big step that you take, of course, is filing this whistleblower report. And a lot of people might be aware that being a whistleblower comes with certain legal protections. It's an actual classification. But there are, of course, risks. Can you talk a little bit about how you were assessing the risks of filing this report when you did it?
I mean, I felt it very important for me to tell my story through the proper whistleblower channels, given what is happening to DOJ. So, yeah, are there risks? Sure. I'm not naive that I've put a target on me. And that sucks. But this story, what's happened to DOJ, what they're doing to career civil service is so important to me that I think the risks are worth it.
But what are you afraid of?
Well, I'll give you an example. I was watching some news coverage about Abrego Garcia, and a certain Trump administration talking head gets on the TV and floats the following possibility. Anyone supporting Mr. Abrego Garcia is aiding and abetting terrorism. And that sent me to a dark place because it's not hard to connect the dots there on maybe they come after people like me on trumped up charges or just find ways to make my life difficult. I mean, they're smearing my name in the press. They're saying negative things about me. I'm getting attention that, I never wanted to receive. So these risks are real.
But I sort of wonder if you think anything will actually change as a result of this, because what you're describing is not a situation where there are a few bad apples. You are describing a situation where this FU to the courts is coming, it seems like, from the highest places in government. And your bosses, instead of standing up to that, are willing to allow you to be fired for not lying to a judge. So I guess what I'm saying is that it feels like the culture that you are objecting to is pretty entrenched. And I sort of wonder what, if anything, could come of what you've done.
Yeah, it's a fair question. I don't know that this is necessarily something that yields meaningful change at all in the foreseeable future. That's entirely possible. And that's something I grappled with through this whole process. Like, what if we did this and nothing happened whatsoever? But at the same time, you can't just think about the current moment and who's in charge now. I have to believe someday someone else will be in charge, and maybe this will matter more then. So even if nothing changes now, I have spoken up. I've documented the sort of degradations and deceptions that are occurring at the Department of Justice. And part of what keeps it all going is, like I said before, like hundreds, literally, people, many I don't even know, have been reaching out since April 4th. There is a groundswell of people that believe in the importance of this whistleblower complaint and what is happening to the Department of Justice. And so everyone's got to make their own decision when they've reached that red line. I reached mine on April 4th.
But respectfully, if what you are saying is true, you have attorneys who are being asked to violate the basic oath that they took and their ethical principles. They're basically being asked to do something that no attorney should do. So, what do you make of the fact that you are the only person to file a whistleblower report, and yet you are not the only person to have witnessed what you say you have witnessed?
Yeah, I can't really speculate on other people's motives. People may be in a different circumstance than me. People have their own personal lives and decisions. And so I'm not out here suggesting that anyone who is still at DOJ is somehow suspect or evil. I am out here saying, however, that more and more of my colleagues I've heard are being put in these impossible positions. And someone has to be the first. But this is really a canary in the coal mine moment for the rule of law. So again, I come back to my hope that others will see the moment and see what is right and speak up.
Do you think you'll ever
Have their own personal lives and decisions. And so I'm not out here suggesting that anyone who is still at DOJ is somehow suspect or evil. I am out here saying, however, that more and more of my colleagues I've heard are being put in these impossible positions. And someone has to be the first. But this is really a canary in the coal mine moment for the rule of law. So again, I come back to my hope that others will see the moment and see what is right and speak up.
Do you think you'll ever work in government service again? Like, do you think you could ever be idealistic the way that you were when you entered the DOJ about representing the government, given what you've seen?
Yes, absolutely. It'll be hard. It'll be a challenge, but the oath I took to uphold and defend the Constitution isn't an oath that I abide by only when it's easy or convenient. So, yeah, absolutely. I think that one day there will be a DOJ or a government civil service writ large that I can be a part of again. Just not now.
Erez Rouvaini, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
In the weeks following Rouvaini's firing from the Justice Department, President Trump nominated Emil Bovie to a lifetime federal judgeship. In his confirmation hearing, Bovie denied the thrust of Rouvaini's allegations in the whistleblower report, saying, quote, "I have never advised a Department of Justice attorney to violate a court order." But the Times has reported on text messages and emails that seem to confirm Rouvaini's version of events. Bovie is expected to be confirmed by the Senate in the coming days. In the weeks following Rouvaini's firing from the Justice Department, President Trump nominated Emil Bovie to a lifetime federal judgeship. In his confirmation hearing, Bovie denied the thrust of Rouvaini's allegations in the whistleblower report, saying, quote, "I have never advised a Department of Justice attorney to violate a court order." But the Times has reported on text messages and emails that seem to confirm Rouvaini's version of events. Bovie is expected to be confirmed by the Senate in the coming days. We'll be right back.